Hi, my name's Imani, and I'm going to talk about the Disney movie Zapped. It is a Disney Channel original movie starring Zendaya. I'm going to give a super brief summary of the plot and then go into what I liked and disliked of the movie. This movie is on Netflix, so you can watch it there if you have not seen it. Long story short, Zendaya's character named Zoe gets an app that is supposed to make her new dog Humphrey listen to commands. It's called Listen and Obey. Through some crazy thing happens involving a satellite dish and a renewable energy solar sun thing. I totally forgot those called, the ones that lay in the roof. You know what I'm talking about? That get the sun's rays and then make solar energy thing. I totally forgot what those called. Combination of that and dog food and water, she somehow glitches the app and makes it so it makes boys listen and obey, but it does not work on dogs. Throughout the movie, she uses it several times on all the men that live with her, including her stepfather and her three step siblings, various several guys at school, her love interest. And eventually becomes quite obvious this is a problem because whatever she said, hey, change this one thing about you and just do it, it becomes they become so hyper focused and so intent on doing the said thing that Zendaya told them to do that it becomes a huge problem to the point where it's like a fatal flaw, and it's almost like a be careful what you wish for. She also joins a dance team and she has a problem. She has like a competition with the head varsity dancer who's like the typical mean girl of the school, just that she's kind of a really bad mean girl because she's just really lame, like really cheesy, really corny. So like it's kind of hard to take her seriously as a mean girl because like she's not like she's just so like she's just a really bad mean girl. She's very cheesy. Think of like the mean girl from the Bratz movie, but worse. And you got her. And at the end of the movie, which is during a big basketball game where an athlete is getting scouted by a coach, and the dance competition between Zendaya's junior varsity team and the Mean Girls head varsity team are head to head, it becomes everything handles there. When the mean girl steals her phone, they go to this big sporting event at the school, and then the mean girl makes all the guys do exactly what she wants them to do, and then Zendaya submits to doing things for whatever the mean girl says, even though the app doesn't work on girls. She just does it anyway, and that somehow magically breaks the app's control over her stepbrothers and her brother and her stepfather. I'm not sure how this it's they have a very cheap throwaway line of something like, "Oh, you can't the dog will never betray its pack" or something. But yeah, anyways, it's weird. It's not really explained. Again, I'll go into that later in a moment. Um and then Zendaya gets the phone from the mean girl, um really stops the control thing for everybody in the all the men, and then she breaks her phone, and the then she has a dance competition with the mean girl. Her and her team win, and the movie ends with Zendaya getting along with her family and they're going for a family run together. That's a very short summary plot of the movie. More details, watch the movie. I'm going to talk about some things that I noticed in the movie. Um, let's see. Where do I start? I guess the biggest thing I'm going to start with that really bothers me, this movie was not a good Disney Channel original movie. I will say this. Disney Channel original movies are into two categories, good and bad. There are very few that go into the okay category. This is just a bad movie. I don't like this movie. I'm going to tell you why. The biggest thing that bothers me about this movie is that Zendaya's character is into her phone. She like looks at her phone. She's on her phone a lot. Da 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 da. Um, and everyone comments on it. every time she uses her phone, actually, I'm going to take that back. She's not even on her phone a lot. She's on her phone like a normal amount in the movie. And every time she uses it, people like comment on it like, oh, wow, you're so into your phone. This movie was made in 2014. It's not that weird for someone to be on their phone. Like, we're always on our phone. So it feels so weird that everyone comments on it. It's odd. It's also notable that she's the only person that really uses her phone. So I guess like in universe, it's weird because no one else uses her phone as much as Zendaya, even though Zendaya uses her phone not that much in the movie, except for when she's using the app. So again, kind of weird that everyone makes a big deal out of it because it's not really that big of a deal. But anyways, besides, that was kind of odd. That was a really odd thing to me. Another thing I found I didn't really like was the main like plot, the reason why this whole movie kicks off is because the guys in Zendaya's life, her stepbrother and her stepfather, are just being very obnoxious for no reason, like overly obnoxious and overly disgusting to the point where it's so unrealistic. I get it's the point. You're supposed to exaggerate how like typical boy disgusting thing they are. I get that. But it's to the point where it's like, I'm just watching this. I'm like, no one does this. No one acts like this. This is so, like, out there. I know it's a kid's movie. It's supposed to be overly exaggerated. But it's just like, no one. It still doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so that bothers me a bit. Like, not as much as it. Not a lot. But I didn't like that. Then, so she gets the app and blah, blah, blah to first make the dog listen, then it transforms into making men listen. Now, the thing about this movie that, like, bothers me is that when Zendaya rightfully points out that, hey, these men in our lives, to her mom, are really disrupting my life, keep in mind that in the movie, Zendaya has moved schools, missed out on a dance competition that she really could have wants to go to, that she probably could have won, to move in with 4 men who are really disgusting and filthy and obnoxious and extremely inconsiderate. Her mom's like, oh, we have to adjust to their lifestyle. It's like, no, it's compromise. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that at all. That really bothers me that her mom is just like super nonchalant about the house just being complete chaos all the time. And there's no attempt, is absolutely none, to any sort of compromise at all. That bothers me. It's just bad parenting. I also found it super weird that everyone took the mean girl so seriously because she was really corny, like really cheesy. She had this thing where she would snap her fingers and go boom. And it was like, if someone like came up to you in real life, gave you a very, very corny insult and went boom, you would just laugh. You wouldn't take it seriously. You wouldn't be offended. You'd be like, what the fuck? And then just walk away. You wouldn't like care. You'd be like, this is weird. And then just leave. You would laugh. You would be like, is that all you got? You would make a better comeback. No, instead Zendaya's all tight about this girl who literally goes boom. Why, Zendaya? Why? It's so weird. I want to talk about the head cheerleader has an Asian girl that follows her around and that just pretty much repeats whatever the head girl says, the mean girl says, and she's like really like weird, and I don't know why she's there. I think she's supposed to be there for a comedy relief to like be funny, but I just found her to be really annoying because it's like, why? She was a very useless character that I think they just put it there just to have representation, honestly. And you could cut her character out entirely from the movie and there would be nothing missed. Although I do want to say she does have one line which is really, really funny. When Zendaya is controlling the dance team, which is mostly guys, she has like all guys except for her one girl that's her friend, is on the varsity dance team, junior varsity dance team. So when she's controlling them through the app to make them dance better, she just has her phone in her hand and she's just like I'm doing right now, just talks into her phone. She's like, she's literally doing this. She's literally going, okay, now left, right, left, hip roll, da-da-da-da, na-na-na-na, do this, do that, blah, 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 right? While she's dancing. The head cheater's like, what is she doing to her phone? And then This is actually probably like the funniest part of the movie. The Asian girl literally goes, she's talking into her phone like you would do to a phone. It was just really funny. Like, it's just like a really funny line because like again, that was my favorite part because the head cheater's like freaking out because Zendaya's literally talking to her phone, and then the girl is literally like making fun of the head cheerleader for bitching about her phone. It was really a funny scene in the movie. Now I'm gonna talk about like how the movie like ends. I'm gonna skip a bunch of stuff because now it's really relevant. Most of it is, oh no, all the guys are like doing things to the extreme and this is really bad and we have to stop them. Anyway, towards the end, somehow it's never explained because all that happens in the movie for the mean girl to get even slightly suspicious is Zendaya has her phone in her hand and she's talking to her phone, which isn't weird because it's a phone which you talk into. Anyway, somehow the mean girl figures out that Zendaya has an app that lets her control boys. Just randomly, out the blue, she comes to this conclusion just after seeing Zendaya have her phone in her hand and talking to her phone a few times. Again, what? Like, if I saw someone talking into their phone, I wouldn't think, oh my God, they have an app that can control people. My thing would be, they're on the phone. Super weird, like really weird. Thank you, Asian girl, again, for pointing out how weird the head cheerleader was being. Because it was like, what the fuck? Anyway, hey guys, I'm controlling you and several other boys in a school with this app. And I'm going to like stop it right now because I'm realizing this is a really bad idea to take away your free will. So, anyways, her mom's like, no, that's no way you're doing that. That's like really absurd, which, all honesty, not a really bad response from her mom because, it does sound crazy. So she's like, okay, let me go stop it. And she tries to get it from her bag. But of course, the mean girl stole it and it's gone. Because mean girl has the app. On girls. Again, all the girls in the room are not in control. Why do they not just take the app? Why doesn't Zendaya just like get the phone from the mean girl? Why doesn't her and her friend get the phone from the mean girl? Why doesn't her mom step in and grab the phone from the mean girl? No, they just all the girls in the room just sit there, watch the guys do weird things, watch everything happen, and say nothing. It's so weird. In the end, Zendaya's friend tackles the mean girl, and then Zendaya grabs the phone and then stops it and then destroys her phone at the end. Why couldn't they have done this 10 minutes ago? Why didn't they do this earlier? It's so weird. Like, why would you let this drag on? Like, it makes no sense. Then, prior to Zendaya stopping the girl, her brothers somehow, and her stepfather, somehow just magically get out of control of the app. I don't understand why. Now, when her oldest brother is the first one to get out of control of the app, instead of doing what anyone else would do, which is, get the phone from the girl or, anything that makes sense since you're not in control of the app anymore and you can do anything on your free will, why not do that? No. Instead, he starts doing what the girl says along with Zendaya. So he gets uncontrolled just to listen to the girl anyway. Why? Why not? Why? There are so many things he could have done that would have been actually useful. Like running away, getting the phone from the girl. Anything. Literally anything. Instead, he just stands there and he just does what the girl says anyway, despite being uncontrolled by the app. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make, even when you watch the movie, it still doesn't make any sense. That was weird. I didn't like that, like, at all. What else didn't I like? Oh yeah, did I talk about the scene? I don't know if I did. If I did, I'm gonna delete this. The scene where Zendaya's like love interest and Zendaya are talking in the hallway. This is the beginning of the movie. And then the mean girl just randomly decides that she's gonna hate Zendaya just because she saw them talking in the hallway. She's like, she's flirting with my man, even though all they did was talk. Just a simple conversation. It was so weird. It was so weird. I'm like, why? I'm like, you're mad because they talked? They talked? She just saw them talking. They didn't touch hands, don't flirting, just talked in conversation in the middle, in the hallway. And she just happened to see, and she gets mad, and she vows revenge against Zendaya because she talked to her ex-boyfriend in the hallway one time. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Also, Zendaya uses the app on her lover boy one time to make him kiss her. If you watch Sierra Burgess is a Loser, we all know that kissing people without their consent is sexual assault. This was Disney, so the kiss was really tame. It was a cheek kiss, and Zendaya feels really, really bad about it. And the guy forgives her, and they move on. I want to say it's because it's a cheek kiss, and clearly Zendaya learned her lesson from the app. But I think Zendaya's character was easily forgiven because I feel like the love interest should have been like, nah, you're kind of crazy. You literally had an app that controlled boys. You controlled the entire school, and you made me kiss you. So I think, I don't want to date you anymore. But no, they get together, which I really didn't like because, she controlled him, the entire school, and that was really weird, and she took away their free will. So I didn't really like that. Speaking of Loverboy, I just want to add that the first time Zendaya and Loverboy meet, she goes into the wrong classroom, and they're watching a video on, praying mantises, and she's like, oops, I'm supposed to be in math, but this is science, yikes. And the teacher's like, yeah, wrong classroom, you're looking for the one across the hall or whatever, other side of the building. And she's like, okay, cool. And then he's like to the lover boy, hey, lover boy, pay attention because, this video you're watching is gonna be on a quiz. And then the lover boy just recites all these scientific facts about praying mantises off the top of his head. And it was really weird because what guy knows all these facts? I'm talking the scientific name, the class, a bunch of stuff. And it's really weird that he knows this stuff. I don't know. Actually, I thought that his love for bugs and praying mantises, because it was just so random that he knew this stuff, would come back to play in the movie and be an important part of a plot. But no, he just knows stuff about praying mantises, and that's it. And it was really forgotten. It was really weird. Anyway, so there's that about him. There's also this weird part later in the movie where, not really weird, but there's a part later in the movie where he's reading To Kill a Mockingbird in the park, and Zendaya sees him at the park, and she's like, hey, what are you reading, To Kill a Mockingbird? And she's all impressed, even though To Kill a Mockingbird is standard, part of your English curriculum. In the US at least. So it's super weird that she's impressed because everybody in high school, you know what I mean? Most high schools require To Kill a Mockingbird to be read. So it's really weird that she's oh my gosh, you're reading that book? Oh my God, I'm so, it's why everyone reads this book in high school. It was weird. Yeah, very weird. I didn't really like that. Yeah. So overall, I don't really like this movie. Like I said, I have the reasons why. Mostly because a lot of it is really, really weird. And it doesn't really make any sense. And everyone's really obnoxious and caricatures of themselves. So there's that. Also, I don't like how the moral of the movie was hey, don't be on your phones too much. There's more to life outside of a phone. And it's yes, we all know there's more to life outside of a phone. But that's not really the lesson you should be taking from this movie. The lesson should be that free will is a thing and that to violate it could have serious consequences, or that something like that. No, the lesson is don't be on your phone too much. Not you shouldn't control others. Very weird. I'm not really sure that was why they chose that lesson when, like I said, the lesson should be don't control others and free will is a thing. But no, the lesson is don't be on your phone too much. Like, really, Disney? Sure. That's what we got from that movie. Okay. So, like I said, I don't really like the movie because of the reasons why I listed. Because of the reasons I listed, that's why I'm not really into it. Start over again. So, anyways, I don't really like the movie for the reasons why I just said previously. It could be a better movie. There's a lot. It had potential to be good, but very cartoonish, like non-realistic characters. Things being, it just had a lot of problems with it, and I wasn't really into it. It's not a good Disney Channel original movie because, like, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm gonna say it now. Disney Channel DCOMs come into one or two categories: good or bad. There's very few that are okay. Most of them are either good or bad. This is clearly bad. If you guys want to watch it on Netflix, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not good in any sense of the word or anything like that. The most redeeming quality about it was Zendaya, and even she couldn't save this movie from falling into the bad category. So that's my thoughts on that. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Imani_talks. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.